Ramsey. I'm artist in residence at New Ferry Butterfly Park. We're based in New Ferry at the back of Bebington Station, and we're open in the summer from May until the end of August on every Sunday, so we invite people to come down and have a look at some butterflies and some nature. While I've been here, part of my residency was to introduce art into the venue. So I invited a range of artists, so 5 artists altogether, including myself, came down, and we've done site-specific art. So the art relates directly to the site on which the butterfly park is based. Used to be an old railway sidings here on the butterfly park, and so there was a lot of steel, a lot of metal work. There was a brickworks in New Ferry on site, and we've responded to all of the different things, as well as the nature park that is here now. This particular piece is called Twigwam, and the Wirral Nature countryside people came along, and there's a hazel coppice at the back of here which would chop down at the time. So once the coppicing was finished, a lot of hazel was left. I went with a wigwam type structure and basically made just the structure, and we've been inviting local children and visitors to find twigs and feathers and anything else from the site and weave them into the structure of the twigwam. It's become a lot thicker because it was basically just a shell to start with, and over the course of the summer it's grown. We've also got some plants that have naturally grown through, and we've been trying to wind them up, so by next summer we're hoping that this will be thick and full, and it'll be kind of a den for children to come into, and the children can play in here and have some little talks about nature. This artwork is a piece called Towers by an artist called Hayley Parfitt. Hayley's based in Wrexham in North Wales. I initially saw Hayley's work on Artist Newsletter, where she'd blogged about a brick piece she'd made on Crosby Beach. And I contacted her through there and invited her down to the Butterfly Park to meet us and to have a walk around. And she, like all the other artists, fell in love with the place and came up with a proposal called Towers, which involved her using many of the bricks from site. This used to have a brickworks on site, and we routed around, and right at the back here was a lot of overgrown bricks. Hayley's work is based around insect habitats, so from all the bricks that we'd gathered, she built multi-storey blocks of flats, and there's about 10 or 15 blocks of flats hidden in the foliage. It was to invite insects to come and find their new homes, so it works really well with the ethos of the Butterfly Park and what we're all about, but it's also visually beautiful. When I came last time, there was bees buzzing in and out of the insect habitat, so the towers work really well as homes for the different animals and insects here. This is an artwork called Elastotone. It's by an artist called Emma Kemp, who worked in conjunction with Chris Colville, who's a sound engineer and technician. They worked together. They came and really wanted to make a sound piece because the Butterfly Park is so quiet and so beautiful. The only thing you hear every now and again is a train and the sound of birds. So they figured that if they made a sound piece, it would bring something completely new to the Butterfly Park. Elastotone was made out of recycled elastic and rope that they'd found, and coppiced hazel pieces, chunks that they'd chopped off. And unfortunately bottles were found on site too, so it was a bit of a dumping ground once, and we did find the beer bottles here, but everything was put to use, and they made this beautiful artwork which is a statement piece, and it was originally just for this summer, but everybody loves it so much that it's actually going to stay up now for another year. Karen McGonigal is a local artist who is the only piece of art that wasn't actually commissioned directly for the Butterfly Park. I'd seen Karen's work before, and this particular piece is called Heimlich, and because it's a seat, I felt drawn to it because one of the big issues the Butterfly Park had was that there were no seating. There was one bench on the whole site, which wasn't really enough. So I intended to bring a lot more seating in. You can't actually sit in this artwork, but I figured it was quite symbolic of what I would like to do in the park. And it's very industrial based, which is great because the site was an industrial site to start with. Karen also was commissioned to do a piece for site specific, and she made pupa. Pupa's a piece made of steel and is based on a butterfly pupa, obviously, and it works really well. It's rusted fantastically into the site and looks beautiful now. Butterfly bench is a piece I made, site specific for the butterfly park, obviously. It was made from railway sleepers that were found on site and donated to me. And we used as many as we could of natural products from site. The steel we had to buy in, unfortunately, but it goes with the industrial nature of the butterfly park as it was. And we designed it in the shape of a butterfly specifically to basically be part of the butterfly park. And it's not the type of art I normally produce, but I really wanted it to be very noticeably to do with the butterfly park. So this is probably the only piece that will ever have a butterfly specifically on it. So my work here over the course of this summer has been to introduce more art. My work here for the continuing year will be to involve the public a lot more. So I'm hoping to have a trailer which will be a mobile allotment almost, but it will have plants growing in it that attract butterflies. And with the trailer we will be going around local schools, rest homes, anywhere really that we can engage people who haven't been to the park before. So we go out to them, bring the butterfly park to them, and then hopefully over that period they'll get to know more about us and want to come and visit, and we can do more here over next year. The plan is to have some form of visitor centre, and there's nothing on site at the moment where we can actually sit down and have people come and do workshops. So we're going to be doing some outdoor workshops, and I'll bring school trips, school visits in, and groups of youth, and we'll start doing some land art and art workshops and printing workshops, but it'll all be outdoors. In order to do this, we're going to build a mobile visitor centre, which will take the form of a caravan. So we'll find an old caravan that's about to be scrapped and strip it out and refurbish it so that it takes the form of a visitor centre. It'll be white walls and the drawers, so people can come along and look in and see the butterflies in drawers like you would in a normal museum. Tables for children to do workshops and colouring in, and some photographs, and also an archive of the history of the butterfly park and how we got to this place as it stands now. And then bring people in, take the caravan out to other places, bring people in, and at least on a Sunday when people are here they've got somewhere where they can sit and visualise what the butterfly park could be in the future. The caravan will then be used as part of a proposal for a larger visitor centre on site. And at least if we can prove over the course of 12 months that a visitor centre is needed and actually did work, that will stand us in good stead to have a possibility for a good-sized visitor centre built on site later on in the year.